Hello and welcome to G Fun Facts Online, your go-to spot for mind-blowing science. Today, we're diving deep into something you probably use every single second but rarely think about in this way: your muscles. But we're not just talking about bicep curls and leg day. We're talking about tiny internal clocks ticking away inside your muscle cells, and how these microscopic timekeepers have a massive say in how we age and how our bodies manage energy. Ever wondered why shift work can be so tough on the body, or how we can keep our muscles healthier for longer? Stick around, because the science is fascinating. So picture this: each of your muscle cells has its own circadian rhythm, its own little 24-hour schedule. These internal clocks are like tiny managers, overseeing crucial tasks, especially the balance between building new proteins and breaking down old ones. This balance is absolutely vital for keeping our muscles strong and healthy. Now, when these muscle clocks get thrown off schedule, things can go sideways pretty fast. It can lead to accelerated muscle aging, a condition doctors call sarcopenia. That's a fancy term for the loss of muscle mass and function, something we usually associate with getting older. One of the coolest, or perhaps most crucial things these muscle clocks manage is something called nocturnal clearance. Think of it like a nighttime cleaning crew for your muscles. While you're asleep, your muscle cells are busy identifying and getting rid of damaged or defective proteins that have piled up from all your daily activities. This cleanup is essential. If it doesn't happen properly, because the muscle's clock is out of whack, those junk proteins accumulate, impairing muscle function and growth. Essentially, your muscles start showing signs of wear and tear much earlier than they should, similar to what's seen in older folks or people who work irregular shifts. Scientists even saw this in action with zebrafish. Now, zebrafish might seem random, but they share a lot of genes with us humans. When researchers messed with the muscle clocks in these fish, the fish showed signs of premature aging. They were smaller, weighed less, and weren't as active as their healthy buddies. It's a powerful reminder of how deeply connected our internal rhythms are to muscle health across different species. But the story doesn't stop at aging muscles. These intrinsic clocks in our muscle cells are also major players in our whole body energy metabolism. We're talking about how our bodies handle glucose, amino acids, and lipids, the very fuel we run on. When core clock genes, like the ones named BMAL1 and clock, get disrupted in muscle cells, the metabolic consequences can be pretty serious. For starters, it can lead to insulin resistance and glucose intolerance. Studies on animals where BMAL1 was specifically knocked out in muscle cells showed they had trouble managing blood sugar and became resistant to insulin. What's really striking is that even short-term circadian misalignment in humans, think a few nights of bad sleep or a messed up schedule, can quickly bring on insulin resistance, mostly at the skeletal muscle level. And that's a huge risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes. It also messes with how our muscles handle fats. Circadian misalignment can disrupt the lipid profile in skeletal muscle, which further contributes to that nasty insulin resistance. And remember that protein turnover, the building and breaking down process. If the muscle clock is off, that crucial nocturnal clearance of damaged proteins is impaired. They build up, and that directly contributes to muscle dysfunction. Finally, a healthy muscle clock gives us something called metabolic flexibility. This means our muscles can efficiently switch between using different energy sources and storing them, helping to maintain a stable metabolic environment. Disrupt the clock, and you reduce this flexibility, making it harder for your body to adapt to metabolic demands. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's bad for my muscles and my metabolism in those muscles. But the ripple effects of messed up muscle clocks spread much further. Our skeletal muscle isn't just for moving us around. It's a massive organ that plays a huge role in our overall metabolism. So when things go wrong in the muscle clocks, the whole system can feel it. That impaired clearance of damaged proteins we talked about, the one that's a hallmark of muscle aging when circadian rhythms are off? Well, that same kind of protein buildup is also implicated in some really serious conditions, like neurodegenerative diseases, think Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, and other metabolic disorders. This suggests that if your muscle clocks aren't happy, it could be contributing to a whole spectrum of age-related health problems, not just weaker muscles. So what's throwing these delicate muscle clocks out of sync? Unfortunately, many aspects of modern life are prime culprits. We're talking about shift work, those super irregular sleep schedules, chronic jet lag from frequent travel, and even the natural process of aging itself can make these rhythms less robust. All of this disruption is increasingly being recognized as a serious risk factor for things like metabolic syndrome, that dreaded sarcopenia, muscle loss, and general frailty. But it's not all doom and gloom. Researchers are actively exploring ways to fight back and mitigate these negative effects. One promising area is chrono-nutrition. This isn't just about what you eat, but when you eat it. Things like how you distribute your protein intake across meals, or practicing time-restricted feeding, like only eating within an 8 or 10-hour window each day, show real potential for improving muscle health and helping to reset those peripheral clocks in your muscles. Then there's timed exercise. Just like with food, the timing of your physical activity might influence how much benefit you get for your muscle metabolism and strength. Some evidence even suggests that working out in the late afternoon could be more effective because of the natural daily rhythms of clock gene expression in our muscles. And, of course, scientists are also looking into pharmacological interventions. These are still in the early stages, mostly preclinical studies, but they're investigating drugs that could target specific clock proteins. The hope is that these might one day help restore that important nocturnal protein breakdown and muscle function, especially for people whose circadian rhythms are chronically disrupted. Beyond daily maintenance and metabolism, these muscle clocks also have a big say in how our muscles repair and regenerate after an injury. Studies have found something really interesting. Muscle injuries seem to heal faster if they happen during the organism's natural waking hours. It's like your body is primed for repair when it's active. This is linked to how the circadian clock regulates inflammatory responses within muscle stem cells, which are crucial for rebuilding damaged tissue. It also affects the production of NAD+, a vital coenzyme that's essential for energy metabolism and these repair processes. So if your circadian rhythms are frequently disrupted, something common with aging or in metabolic conditions like obesity, your muscle's ability to regenerate effectively can be significantly diminished. So there you have it. The tiny unsung heroes within our muscles, our cellular circadian clocks, are absolutely fundamental. They're not just ticking away randomly, they're meticulously managing our muscle health, orchestrating our metabolism, and even influencing how we age and repair. It's clear that our modern lifestyles, with all the shift work, late nights, and irregular schedules, can really throw a wrench in these intricate systems, potentially accelerating muscle decline, messing with our metabolic function, and contributing to a range of age-related diseases. But the amazing thing is, by understanding these mechanisms, scientists are paving the way for new strategies, from timing our meals and exercise to potential future therapies, all aimed at helping us promote healthy aging and more effectively treat metabolic and muscle disorders. It really shows how interconnected everything in our body is, right down to the rhythm of our cells. That's all for this episode of G Fun Facts Online. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time with more fascinating science.